is if you have a copy, I don't even want to say if you have a copy, but I'm gonna go into this, and I wrote it out for you because I wrote it out as a lesson, but it's only part one of the lesson, and I want you to see, be able to see. This is going to be a little bit different because I can't explain it all in its entirety. What we got? Till 12 o'clock? Yeah. All right. But I'm going to try to break this down for you a little bit so you can see a little deeper into the word ether and what I've been telling you about. Matter of fact, I put you on the spot for a minute. We were going from the, anybody remember, from the primeval waters into what? Let there be light. All right? So I'm going to show you an illustration. I'm going to show you really not an illustration, but that is really an illustration of what I'm going to break down to you today. All right? But follow along here, and I wrote this out because I want you to study it. And I really want some questions when you get back the next time we meet, because this is not going to be easy to see, but bear with me. All right, we're going to be talking about ether. Everybody is going to leave here in an etheric state. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
I can know the copy.
Say it.
I can know the copy of myself.
Will you leave here in a physical state, a solid state?
I can.
You can't. What kind of state will you leave here in?
Like that around you.
Say it. You're right and you're right. Say it again. But in a scientific way, what?
Yeah.
Gas state, right? A gas state. Now, what happens at the point of the transition from life and death? I'll explain to you what happens. Just like your belly button that has a cord of life, you also have a cord of death. The belly button is attached to your mother. That cord is from you to your mother, and that cord is cut, and now here's life. We have life. And you held and cuddled and nurtured, and now you live life. Now, at the point of death, you have an etheric cord that's attached to you from this world to the next world. And at that point, that is also cut. And when that is cut, you actually leave the body, which they call the sahu, which is more of a transparent you, and you make that transition from this body and this world to the new world, or the next plane that you're going to. Now, you will still be in that form. You will still be you. But you will not be in what we call a dense three-dimensional state, or plainly a solid state. All right? Now I'm going to explain this, and listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to give it to you real slow. Follow along with me so you can see it. Ether is a state of nothingness. Ether, I don't have my board so I can't go on that. Ether is the state of nothingness. What is the state of nothingness? Anybody know? What would you call a state of nothingness? Not in this sense, I'm talking about in a scientific way. Can you see God? So is God in something, or is God in nothing? In nothing. Because there's nothing to see. Am I right? There's nothing to see. Now watch this. When we say nothing or nothingness, how do they abbreviate the word number? They abbreviate it N-O, and then that little mark they do, right? That is the symbol for nothingness. But it's also the symbol for what? the number system or numbers. What am I trying to tell you? The first state of nothingness is created, and watch this. It's created only for the reason to put something in it. Everybody got me? The reason nothing is created is to put something in it. All right? To put something in it. Now I'm going to go a little bit deeper so you can... now if I'm a layman, I'm like, this sounds like some gibberish. I don't know what he's talking about. This don't make no sense to me. And to a layman, it wouldn't make that much sense. But now I'm going to give it to you so it does make sense. And I put it here. So in the layman's mind, he would say what? How can a state of nothingness be created? Now I want everybody to write this down on a piece of paper. A state, I wanted you to write it yourself, even though I have it. A state of nothingness is when a form of energy is transient to another state. Now I want somebody to repeat that back to me.
State of nothingness is when a form of energy is
Transient
transient
to another state. Now, what is that telling you about nothingness? That energy can also be considered nothing, but once it is transformed into another state, it can become what? Something. Now, they play a little bitty game in science with you and in writing where they say S-O-M. But if you study mathematics, you know that it's S-U-M. To get from nothing to something, it has to sum up to something, right? All right. So I'm going to explain it like this. Now, when you're on Earth, when you're on this Earth plane, we go back to the lightest element. Now, this is what I'm trying to show you. Before scientists knew anything about the quark, he only knew about H1. Okay? H1 was the only element and the first element known. What is H1? Say it again. Hydrogen. Hydrogen was thought to be the lightest element in the universe. Am I right? When you mix hydrogen with oxygen, what do you get? Say it. Water. Water. You get water, which is on a periodical chart, what? H, hydrogen, 2, oxygen, right? All right. So now you had one who came together with another one, and now the element changed. Watch what I said earlier. When one state of energy is transient to what? To another state. So you have a gas state now transient into what? A liquid state. Because now one became two, and the gas state changed to a liquid state, so now it turned that energy from a gas to a liquid. Get what I'm saying? But at the same time, hydrogen is also a 1, 2, 3 state. It is gas, liquid, ice is what? Solid. So now you got 1, 2, 3 within that one element. But scientists didn't know before there one, you had 0. They didn't know it. We knew it, but they didn't know it. So what was inside the hydrogen that they didn't know anything about?